Good morning. I'm Mark Allen with Gaper.io, and I'm here today with Archie Rubano, the CEO of Xbuds. Good evening in your case, Archie. How you doing?
Thank you, Mark. Nice to meet you. I'm doing really well. How about you?
I'm doing well. It's end of the day for you, more or less, and beginning of the day
Yeah,
for we're just starting here.
nice.
Yes. So can you share a brief background of yourself and your work experience?
Sure. So my name is Archie. I'm originally from Russia. I moved to the US when I was about 15 years old by myself. And since then, I've been living by myself. Then I went to a university in London. And that's when I started my first IT project called Yuhu, which was a platform where people could either rent something out and earn some extra income from that. That could be your could be a suit, a tuxedo or a camera, a snowboard, whatever. And other people could find something for rent real quick. There was a failure, to be honest, for that, but it taught me a lot of really valuable lessons. Since then, I went back to the US to finish my bachelor's, and that's when Xbuds came to life, which I will tell you a little bit more in just a little bit.
Okay. So what has been your experience with remote employment, both as an employer and employee?
It's been good. To be honest, for me, it's something very natural, as all of the projects where I had been privileged to either take part or lead, we always had some part of it was remote. Right now, the majority of the work that we do is remote. So to me, it's something very natural. And I think in today's world, it's everybody in some sort of in some way has some relation to it.
Very good. So what do you think is the future of remote employment, and what do you think can be done differently to make it more effective?
To me personally, I really like the real part of the conversation, of the feeling. So to me, all of the remote work that we do, I try to make it as personal as we can, because I believe there's some of that magic connection when people meet and talk. So I always prefer a video chat versus a phone call, and a phone call to an email. So I believe that it will be more personal and with the use of technology. So what I can think of right now, that could be AR or VR technologies. I just don't want to be putting some extra large hardware device in my head in order to be able to participate in something like that. But in the future, I'm sure those devices will be much smaller and it's just more convenient, and people will be able to remotely meet in some common space where they will feel the energy of each other, and that will feel super real, as somebody is very close to you, and that's when that magic will be able to happen again.
Yeah, I think actually there's people working on holographic technology that
Yep.
might be
Right. Yeah, something like that for sure.
because then the person's kind of next to you, right?
Yep.
So
Just to get that feeling.
yeah. So what is the story behind Xbuds? What's your product? Who's your target audience? All those things.
Sure. I'm a water sports lover since my early ages, and Xbox actually started as a surfing product originally. We quickly found that we can solve a much better problem for swimmers, and I also love to swim, and we decided to shift our attention to swimmers, and it's been evolving. We had a few of very important pivots. First, we started as simply smart earbuds for surfers. Then we went to swimmers, and it all came to building something that we hope will change how swimmers train. Because right now there are no products on the market that will perform what we want our product to perform, and we sure it will do it. So I can't tell you too much about it. In short, it's AI training system for swimmers. Part of it is hardware, part of it is software. The most part of it is software. We writing some algorithms, and we're making basically a virtual smart coach, which will be there with you while you swim. It will tell you your your metrics. It will give you training programs specifically tailored to you, and it will guide you through your workout.
Interesting. Is it I would assume it's not allowed in competition. Is that correct? I mean, I don't know the rules of swimming very well.
Could you repeat that again? Oh, in competition? Yes, it will. It is not a lot of competition. Yes.
And another thing I'd be curious about, because almost all sports, people aspire a fair amount. Um, is your technology going to be applied to other sports?
We're definitely thinking about it. Well, triathlon seems to be very natural to us to explore. Um, but sure, we're thinking of expanding into some other markets. But right now, we just focus strictly on swimming and want to keep our focus on swimming.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, how did you incorporate the idea of remote at your company? It sounds like you said you have people in different parts of the world. You started out remote and just stayed that way, or have you actually had an office before?
So part of it happens at the office, part of it happens remotely. I personally like both. There's some things that are better done in the office, some things better done remote. It started out that way as well, and some of us would travel once in a while, and it has to, we have to still communicate and get things done. So we're just using some technologies and platforms that are available right now. Some of them is for instance, Airtable or Notion, Figma, and a few others that we use. So technology basically lets you, collaborate and see the progress in real time and assign people who are responsible for each task and set up timelines for that.
Yeah. So the current pandemic still going on. They're starting to let loosen things up a little bit here, especially in the Bay Area. I know you're from the Bay
Yep.
Area. Did that cause any roadblocks or challenges that you didn't expect?
Oh, definitely. Yes. It for sure did. For instance, our hardware development got really, really pushed back because we do it in Asia. And
Hmm.
Asia was the first, that China, for instance, got hit the first. So they had to basically shut down the factory, and then they had to get back. Then they had a lot of projects bottlenecked, and then everybody wants to get everything done. They don't have enough manpower, and it causes delays for sure. On the other hand, in terms of the product, it actually we see some benefits. I think there's always in times of crisis like that, smart people can always figure out a way how to benefit from it, and we already saw some shifts in customer behavior that really plays well for us.
Hmm. Were most of your customers shut down? I mean, I'm assuming public pools were closed, right?
Yep.
I don't know about those,
Yes.
but people that are training, that's a different breed. So I don't know. Do they have their own pools?
Well, mostly all of them are, everything got slowed down.
Mhm.
Competitive swimming got slowed down too. All of the public pools are closed. Universities, teams, everything is closed. But I'm talking about more of a long-term
Mhm.
shifts, as there are probably not going to be as many people allowed at a pool at the same time. People will want to be, more independent at where they swim, and also be searching for some new locations where they can do that.
Very interesting. So there are companies like Gaper that help develop, build, and scale products, especially for startups. How important do you think this will be going forward in the new normal to have outsource your software development to someone in a different part of the world?
I think it's very good time for you guys, to lead in and offer your services. It's obvious that right now they're probably even more popular than they were before. People are thinking about new logistic chains and the ways they can redo their work processes. Remote working is definitely very popular right now. It's going to stay that way. Um, Personally, I don't have that much experience with companies like Gaper because
Mhm.
we're very young right now,
Hmm.
and the project that I've done before, it wasn't a big company. There was two projects that I've sold that weren't even in IT, and then one in IT, Yoohoo, which was a failure.
Mhm.
So I don't have any personal experience that I can relate to and say, hey, yes, I've used someone like Gaper or Gaper, and say that was very useful. But I'm sure companies like Gaper will benefit from the current situation.
Yeah, and I have one final question for you. And I know you are from the Bay Area somewhat, and you're a surfer. So have you taken part in Maverick?
No, that's too big for me.
Okay, so you're not
I
that level surfer. You're more of like a over
not that
Pacifica.
level.
That's where you go.
I went to Santa Cruz.
Mhm.
That's where I like to surf. I also go to OB once in a while in San Francisco, but OB gets big sometimes too that I get scary. It's
So you're more of a recreational surfer.
yeah, yeah. I do as much as I can. Right now, it's when I moved to Bay Area. I can't surf as much as I used to when I was living in San Diego,
Mm.
but as much as I can every weekend or more, I go out and surf.
Well, that's great. So, well, Archie, I want to thank you for your time today. Hopefully, you can get
Thank
back
you too,
to
sir.
the Bay Area soon,
Yep.
and enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you, Mark. Have a good day.
Thanks. You too. Bye.
All right. Have a good day. Bye.